Johnny, hey, congratulations on your new film, Shaky Grounds.
Thank you.
Now, you act and produce this film, so let me start with the easy question. How did this film actually came about for you?
It came about through a short that we did a little bit back, and we just kept building off that and came to where we are, man. It's common sometimes with people they have these ideas, so they start off as shorts, and then hopefully along the way, build to that, build a team, build a good script, good screenplay, and that's kind of like what we did, man. And yeah.
Can you tell us about the short film? What was that story entailed?
The short film was different. Very different than the actual screenplay itself. But I can tell you that there were some elements with the coffee shop, being the coffee shop is a part of the movie, and the name of the coffee shop is Shakey Grounds, and it has to do with there's some scenes there, music, grunge, so little things like that. I'll tell you that. Yeah,
Now, did you also acted in the previous short film?
I did have one of the roles. Yeah,
Was,
so.
was it the same character or was it entirely something different?
It was similar, my similar quirkiness, but a little bit different too, but definitely similar. Yeah, you could see it if you ever see the short. It's yeah.
Now, in this film, Shaky Grounds, you play Nick, who is a former music AR. Talk about getting into his shoes and getting into the character of, of Nick.
Yeah, well, it's funny. He's actually a current A&R, and then you'll find out that he does become former pretty quick at the beginning. There's a great scene. Probably my favorite scene is the first 5 minutes of the movie, 5, 10 minutes. But yeah, no, he's what was the question? Yeah, like what the character was like.
Yeah, yeah. Talk more
Yeah,
about the character. Yeah.
yeah, no, it was great. I did some research and actually spoke to some current A&R executives, which helped me quite a bit, situations that they're in, what to do, what not to do, behavior, stuff like that. A lot of confidence with that job. But yeah, I did some research. It was really fun for me.
So, as a producer of this film, can you talk about extending this into a full-length feature film? What did you want to start off first, with the idea for Shaking Grounds? Because obviously the coffee shop is definitely going to be in this film.
Yeah, the coffee shop's into it, is in it. And I'll just like, so the movie, basically, it's like it's an aspiring musician. He's coping with which is played by Eric Nelson. I'm sure we'll get into the cast in a little bit, but he's coping with the death of his best friend, and then a disgraced record label played by myself. You find out he becomes disgraced. Unexpectedly visits his hometown. So with the short, we basically, because it's a short, we kind of, we're limited with location. So we shot in the coffee shop and, kind of had these irregular characters that, caught the hanging out at the coffee shop is like what brings them together, why they became, so close. And then I realized to do the feature, we had to just kind of, come up with a different concept. Although that's a fun idea, kind of like a Clerks type of thing. I really wanted to expand. I started thinking about well, coffee shops kind of started off in, this was a group of us, of course, when we think coffee, like Seattle, so Seattle, yeah, it's a good, I guess Seattle, it could take place in, or, Arkansas, and then you go to like, well, grunge, and okay, it's like the grunge scene started, the evolution of grunge started in Seattle, and then maybe we can come up with an idea of like a band that kind of has something to do with the coffee shop, whether they hang out in it, there's just a coffee shop, we'll be there. And then we started to just come up with a band, a struggling band who didn't want to sell out. They were so anti going viral, anti that, almost like an 80s, 90s type of vibe.
Mhm.
And even though it's today, which I liked about it, how they're kind of anti-social media in a way. Um, and yeah, and then I started putting the pieces together and we decided to shoot in Arkansas, which it was amazing. I had the best time there. And yeah, man. So kind of like that. That's kind of like how I built it. And then I started bringing in writers, and we just started to put together this a screenplay, a story.
Now, since you brought it up, go ahead and talk about the casting of this film.
Yeah, that was really fun. It's funny as an actor for, my whole, starting as a teenager up till now, I got to see like that point of view. And then now you are like it's like when you're a restaurant waiter and then you buy the restaurant and now you have like all these other responsibilities that you didn't even know. So it's like with producing, that's kind of how it went for me is now I have like all these responsibilities. I loved it. I took on the challenge, but I did start acting. So it's like I do understand what it's like to be an actor, which I think will always help me even with the next projects that I produce is I think it's good when somebody like knows what it is, like what you're doing. It's like an athlete that becomes a coach. You just know you've been there, you know? So the casting was great and wow, thousands of submissions. That was really wild to see how many people, you know, but yeah, it was tough. It was, you know, a lot of people read that were good. Um, but you know, you can only cast one and every role, you know, people are, you know, not you, there might be this amazing actor like, wow, they're in this, but they're just not like this part's not right for them, you know, like this one, this design role. And then once we saw Eric Nelson submit, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, you know, 1883 is what he's most known for, and he's got tons of movies out right now. So he's just crushing it. And then he did great with Travis, exactly what we were looking for. You know, he has this Kurt Cobain vibe, punk rock, grunge vibe, kind of like I don't give an F. You know, it's great. So we got Eric, which was really awesome. Speaking of Eric, we have the other Eric. He's right there on the poster. Eric Roberts is in this. See, people think he's not he doesn't have a lead in this, but he's got a really good cameo. It's a strong one. My scenes are with him. He was great. I learned a lot from him, even in the, you know, that one day we shot. So glad, super stoked we got Eric Roberts. We have Kenzie Ziegler. So a lot of female demographic know Kenzie. She was most known from Dance Moms back in the day, and now she's all grown up and she's got movies coming out. She has albums currently out now. She's touring, so she's crushing it as well. So we got Kenzie Ziegler. She plays Travis's Eric Nelson's sister and niece in this. So really happy. She doesn't accept a lot of roles. She doesn't, and she wanted to do this one, and I was very grateful for that. So thank you, Kenzie. And we have Kelly Tabad, who was in 400 episodes of General Hospital. She's known from that. And we got Ella Cannon, who did a movie called Trees of Peace, which won some awards on, and she's like the Hallmark Queen and Lifetime. So I'm very proud of and others too. We got Moses Jones, who just had a cameo in the new Naked Gun. We have David Loutman. He does a commercial a week. So I'm very proud of the cast that was assembled, and I really am, man, because you know, it's not easy to get, you know, cast like this these days, and you know, yeah, for the budget that we did, I'm really happy with this cast. It worked well together too. Like it worked, you know.
During this casting process, how much did you stress on, the musical aspect and the singing for these cast members?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our director, Michael Garcia, wanted to make sure that not that the actors had to sing, but if they did it was great. But with the musical instruments, you know, he wanted to make sure that the actors played, right? Because in acting, they always say you could do everything. Say you're a surfer, say you're, you know, whatever, right? A stuntman. But when it comes down to it, like we really wanted to see. And what was great about Eric is Eric did some singing in this, and um, Matthew Gumley, he's a great actor too. He was the drummer in this. He actually played the drums, which was awesome. Just like totally Dave Grohl style. And with the music, we also wanted to make sure that it was original, which was cool. You know, we were able to do that sometimes. And, you know, we hired a great group of people that did some originals, just kind of like not like, you know, a rap, rock, cosmic sound, like kind of today's music. And so this is all original music, and that was cool too. So there was a lot of challenges for me on this one. I don't know if I will do it again with original music with an indie, but I'm glad I did. I learned a lot, and I think it all worked out. I think it worked. So yeah, original music. These people were playing the instruments at times. So
Now, with the original music, that's one of the toughest things about making films with original music. Can you talk about working with the songwriters to come up with the original music in this film? Like, what kind of ideas do you have to like bounce back and forth, and how much liberties did you give with these songwriters to come up for the film?
Yeah, man. So I had our director. He knew the guys that were gonna do the music. One of the guys' names was Bernie Garcia, who's actually in a touring band now called Mayday. And this is more in his wheelhouse. They bounced it off me, but we just wanted that. It's just something new, something today, something that everybody can kind of listen to and kind of like, go with the beat. Again, like that rap, rock, um, kind of sound. And yeah, it worked, man. They just collaborated quite a bit and they would fill me in when I needed to be filled in. I had so much other stuff going on too with, doing, memorizing my lines and just doing other stuff. But I was a part of that a little bit. I mostly just wanted to hear like the end result, you know, like tell me when you're done. I don't want to know in between. But yes, that was filled in as it went on, and it was interesting just to hear a different thing. But we mostly the director wanted to like he like listen to it when it's done instead of like when they say too many cooks in the kitchen. Sometimes it was just kind of like that, and we heard it at the end. We were all like, "Holy crap, this is great!" So
That is wonderful. And, I want to mention that you, as an actor, you also had a very short jam session yourself. So tell us, is that you playing?
it was. Oh wait, yes, it was me playing. Yeah, I do play a little bit. I do. But not like Stevie Ray Vaughan or anything. I have fun. I'm more of like if you hear it on the radio, I'll try and play it. But yeah, that was me. That was me.
Can you walk us through going through that scene where you have to demonstrate your musical abilities in comparison to everybody else in that film?
Like, is it the scene in the with
Yeah,
Eric Nelson where I'm saying
right.
play it like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I had a little riff in mind, a little bluesy kind of riff, and I said to the director, I don't know if this isn't really the song that we were recording in the studio. He's like, nah, just play anything, man. I was like, all right. So I just played this little riff. I didn't really work on it, just totally just like a little I can't really remember too much, but yeah, that was a crazy scene too, because um that was one of the scenes where I was like, and not a lot of people know this, but I was like gonna break down in the back. My character just like crying because they were just pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. It's just like, oh. So, um, yeah, it's the best part about acting too is people think are these fake tears. It's like, oh man, when you have to break, like you want to fucking just So, yeah, that was a good scene too. So I had to do that with, play a little music, and then these guys are also just like busting my chops, and I'm like, who are these punks? Like, do you know who I am? Like, I'm about to make your life this. And they just like, they have this, like, I don't, give a shit type of. So yeah, that was really me. But yeah.
Well said. Tell us
And
about your film company, that supported and backed this film, and basically what kind of films that you like to focus on.
so I really recently jumped into the producing side. Like a lot of people, there's a lot of opportunities now, a lot of platforms. So a lot of people are having more opportunities than ever to kind of produce all budgets, right? And budgets from, $50,000 movies to, 50 million. But I said, it's not that enough is enough. I just kind of got tired of being pushed around as an actor, which is a very common thing, right? There's hundreds and thousands of people that look like me or us. And I said, I wanted to go out there, or the only way to make that happen is go out there and find the money. However you have to do it, right? And investing in films is risky these days, but can be done with the right team, the right proposal, the right plan, the right vision. So I formed my production company, about 5 years ago, and I hit the ground running and started to talk to investors and, started to, have meetings and raise money here and there and just build and build. And I ended up getting, 6 to 7 figures with this. It's not easy at all. And I just wanted to be my own boss of this ship. I kind of like enough was enough. And I embraced it. And that's really when I always wanted to. I think a lot of actors in the back of their mind try like we think about this, but like how do we execute? How can we actually do this? Well, you gotta, you just gotta put one foot forward and just start writing things down and, how to do this and how to do that and call people and ask questions. And so I formed the production company a few years ago, and this was one of the first ones that's on the slate. And I have another big one. Hopefully, I'm going to make an announcement before the end of the year is over. It's actually, if you don't mind, really quick. I got this is a book. It's called Sheer Pressure,
Hmm.
and the gentleman of Greg Abbott, not the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, but um, Greg Abbott. Actually, a lot of people know him. He wrote a few books, and if you Google him, um, he's been around, very smart guy, and I was introduced to him. We had some good phone calls. He wants me to produce this movie. This is a massive budget, and I'm really excited about it. And there should be some announcements really soon, and I'm really excited. So Shaky was kind of like the launching point from the beginning, and now it's like really time to get to work. And yeah, man. So a lot of big things coming my way.
You know what? That is a great start. I mean, we have to start from somewhere. So let me wrap it up with one last question with you, Johnny, because you know, I want to say you're getting into this new side of producing, but it also seems like you're not willing to let go of your first love of acting. So how do you balance all this out for you in this next chapter of life?
I just want to say thank you, Adam Chandler. He's one of my inspirations with like, I met him a couple times on really like the model, the blueprint of I'm gonna, try to kind of do what he did in a way, right? Whereas gonna be mistakes made and then like all these lessons, but I do love acting today, like now. Things might change, but I kind of want to model what he did. And he acts in all his movies. He has a lot of the same people that he hires. And a lot of people don't know this, not even just the actors, the regulars that we see in his movies, a lot of the crew. He's brought in crew for 20, 30 years on the same, the movies. So he's very loyal, and that's kind of like the model I want to follow is just act in the movies that I produce. And I'm gonna see how that goes, but that's my vision. So that's kind of how I want to do it. So because I do love acting. I started doing it when I was young, and I just love it, man, I do. I still love it. I
You know
still love
what?
it.
And you're still doing it. So, Johnny,
Yeah.
thank you very much for speaking to us about Shaking Grounds, and congratulations on this new chapter of producing and acting in your career. I mean, this is going to be a wonderful adventure for you.
Thank you. And if I could just may, we are officially released on Tubi now. So if anybody wants to go see it, you go on Tubi. Obviously, it's for free. We're also on, Prime Video, Apple TV, and some other platforms as well. But big release on Tubi, I think today or something. So I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.